16-14, then lose.
Oh, it breaks your heart.
Geez, like, if we just lost 16-5, it'd already been over. We could have been focusing on the next map. Either way, we are live into the second map, ladies and gents, with Na'Vi on the T side. Already barreling their way through, but Yugi and Snappy up to the task of 2 frags. He's going to pick up 2 of his own, though, with Glock headshots. So pretty much a stalemate, in effect, for the time being. Zeus is looking for more, though. Still got a flashbang and a decoy in the hands of Na'Vi. Well, a decoy can be really used for much, maybe a fake flash.
And it's pretty much the only value in it. So right now, a bit of a standstill, though, from Na'Vi's end. Electronic actually does fall, and that's the bomb down as well. So Snappy gets a bit of additional information as to what might be going on Na'Vi's end. That said, though, Zeus decides to bail out. Meanwhile, Simple actually makes his way back towards B here. So I'm not really sure what the in-game plan here is. See, okay, Zeus thinks the better of it, goes back towards B to join it, forces with Simple, and you can see the tower here set up by Heroic. And even if Snappy doesn't necessarily get an opening pick or a pick here, as Na'Vi enters the bomb site, still get to give a ton of information, and they do have 2 players on that bomb site already.
Yeah, as soon as he sees one, he knows it's both going to be there. There's no reason for them to split up at this point.
Yep. So
instantly the rotation is going to be coming through from the A site. Simple, you feel, has to get a kill, stop his teammate from dying. It's not going to happen. The bomb has been planted. Simple's won these before. We've been in similar positions in the past, but he's missed a lot of shots, and that's going to cost him dearly. You have to think player now's on the site. He's unable to land absolutely nothing. 1 bullet left. The bomb is going to get defused from a defuse kit wielding Modi. And although Simple will keep a USP and Kevlar, they do lose the round. At least with the bomb plant, though, it gives them some options.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the last time they played Overpass, Simple was actually able to get dropped an AK by full Kevlar, and that was actually enough for him to pick up 4 kills and win the round for them. Zeus does have enough money to drop an AK if they would like to do so.
They do.
There we go. So now it's going to be the Simple show, if anything, if Na'Vi hopes to grind back into this right away. And Heroic, obviously, they're going to be having flashbacks. They know what they're coming up against. And last time we saw a lot more, I guess, ineffective SMGs, not the UMP. We saw a lot of MP9s coming out on their end. And this time it seems like they're more prepared going up to rifles or more heavy artillery. Also playing quite far back. 2 players on that A bomb site. Only 1 player far forward, and that's Snappy.
Also more of a long-term investment for Heroic. You're not necessarily going to drop UMPs to replace them with M4s. They're still very good against armor. MP9's not so much. So if Heroic do just go ahead and blitzkrieg through Na'Vi, they'll just stay with these weapons until they start losing some.
Yeah, Simple, though, on the warpath to spawn out. Yugi doesn't get the kill, though. Nico instead is going to be the one to open up the show, finds Flamey. So already things not going according to plan for Na'Vi.
Like the Heroic instantly have backed away, though. Decent spray from Snappy will drop the bomb. Not able to take down the second kill. But as soon as they knew that Simple had the 1 AK on long, they just backed away and gave up that ground. That being said, though, now that Simple's chimed in onto Snappy and has control over the bomb again, now Heroic are going to have to be versatile once more. You got to say, though, that Heroic have made a bit of a dog's dinner of this round thus far. They've given Na'Vi opportunities.
Have Yugi tagged down very low as well. One of the benefits, though, is that Simple has to give up that AK, seeing how he is on 9 HP, though. Edward showed a brilliant performance on Inferno. But not necessarily that much of a downgrade in this scenario.
Oh, S-Tag's in the perfect position, though, and he will strike with 3 kills. 2 of them weakened, but a spray on point. And he keeps Heroic in the lead. That being said, they also keep 3 players and pick up the AK from the corpse of Simple. So that really couldn't have gone better in the last few moments for S-Tag and Heroic.
Yeah, it really did. All they really lost in that round was, obviously, outside of the head Kevin, that kind of stuff, that was a UMP and a FAMAS. Not something you're going to be too sad about. And much more importantly, you actually, withstand the Simple AK. Still, though, another buy coming in from Na'Vi here. Even though they didn't get a bomb plant, UMP on Simple's end, pistols galore on the remaining Na'Vi players.
This is something that I think I was casting with Scrawny on the first day, and Na'Vi went for consistent force buys on their CT side.
Yeah.
And they did it until about round 5.
That was something that Simple himself said in the post-game interview, that was one of the reasons why they got off to such a rocky start. So a bit interesting to see that Na'Vi actually opt to do this. Obviously, it's the T side, so they will be able to establish an economy a lot easier than what they would have been on this on the CT side. But still, you're giving a lot of opportunities for Heroic to kind of start feeling good about themselves if they manage to hold off this pressure.
Look at Snappy's position as well, Van. He is so aggressive up here. They know that there's going to be no one over on the A side of the map. That's allowing them to start to stack on the B side. But now that they've lost Yugi, they have to at least respect the fact that the rotation could be coming in. But now Snappy is moving through Connect around the back of the terrorists. He hasn't seen anybody just yet. And very importantly, Na'Vi have closed the door behind them. That acts as a safety net now. If that door opens, they know there's a player.
Yeah, Snappy's getting a lot of audio cues, though, as to what's going on. So you can already see Heroic have vacated the A-bomb site. They're fully prepared for this.
As soon as that door opens, they're going to be spraying everything they have into Connector. And now with Connector control, they can decide to wrap themselves back around onto the A side of the map. Time, though, is ticking away. Only 10 seconds coming up on the board, and Nico in prime position to strike, and he's going to take down Electronic. The bomb now going back to B. They don't seem to be able to make their minds up, and they're going to run out of time here, Na'Vi. Even if they get the kill on the side, it won't matter. Heroic will pick up a third.
That's some indecision from Na'Vi there. As soon as you make the rotation after killing Snappy, you have to commit to the A-bomb site, regardless of what happens, whether or not Nico finds a frag or not. That's a bit of a misplay on their end. But again, the fact that Snappy dies in Connector there without getting a kill doesn't actually matter all that much, because it gets so early information that the rotation is coming in from Na'Vi that you actually have time for, to send Nico up towards that A-bomb site and just delay any sort of potential bomb plan, and that's really what wins them the round in the end.
Aggression again, Snappy deciding that he wants to get up close and personal with Na'Vi.
And Na'Vi not, just backing off on the pressure, dropping an AK for Simple once more.
Nico also holding Connector. Because of Snappy's position, he can do this without any worries about being shot in the back.
Seems like Na'Vi are aware of what might be happening, though. You can see Edward holding a passive position, but Nico, again, going to find Flamey early on. Send a welcoming package down towards underpass as well. Tags up Simple a little bit. Yugi does have the angle as well and finds the one AK they had in hand. Electronics is going to pick it up, but already 2 men down on Navi's end.
I've got to say, so far, I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Heroic. They were nowhere near this aggressive when they played Na'Vi yesterday on their CT side. They have really mixed things up. They're giving no room at all for Na'Vi to dictate the pace of the rounds. And even though Electronic takes down Snappy, it's still a 4-on-2. They have utility to play with. They do have weapons. There is a possibility, but it's a small one.
Yeah. Not the best constellation price. Optimally, obviously, they want to get a bomb plant here to either just maintain the pressure that they have with the force spy or just at least get a good building block going forward. It's going to be really tough, though. 2 men posted up on the site for Heroic. Fair bit of utility on the side of Electronic, though. Could use his Molotov and smokes to gain some ground.
This entry is going to come. It has to come quick. Electronic decides to push in. He's going to get caught in the side, and Nico actually gets both due to the fact that Electronic decided to jump up, and it really wrecked his aim.
Yeah. Right now, Na'Vi really running down the clock. They had 5 seconds left there as Electronic goes down. So even if you were in a situation where he downs Nico, barely is going to have enough time to plant the bomb, and then obviously that's going to allow for Heroic to close in the gap. But the aggression from Na'Vi has finally ended. Only a CZ picked up on Electronic's side, along with a couple of Deagles, but not the heavy investment we've seen. No dropped AKs, no UMPs. So Heroic kind of won that battle in the end, and likely to get up to 5-0 lead here.
There are 4 Deagles with Simple on Kevlar, so you better believe if they get a weapon and he's healthy, they'll throw it across to him. And Heroic, I like that they've mixed it up again. They realize it's likely to be an eco, some kind of pistols. They don't want to be playing aggressive up mid where they can just get swarmed off terrorists. They're playing positions where they have a bit of cover and they can have crossfire too. Nico with 2, but Yugi's not sure as to whether there's a player in bathrooms or not, so he has to run away. And now Zeus with his Deagle is teeing off shots. Nothing really going to stick though. And as I highlighted earlier, Simple is going to take down the AK that Heroic dropped. And in his hands, then anything seemingly is possible. Edward taking point in bathrooms with his Deagle. Snappy just to his right-hand side. He's not going to check it. They don't have any idea, but now that Snappy's got the deagle. Snappy, turn around, please. Okay.
Bit of a delayed reaction.
Getting a little bit worried for a second there.
Yep. So it still ends up closing up the round. Yeah, that definitely should have seen an immediate reaction from Snappy as that happened. And putting full faith in his teammates to have his back, I guess. Nonetheless, though, Heroic do get that 5th round, and now we're finally going to see a proper buy coming out of Na'Vi. Omp being dropped by Flamey to Simple. Obviously, that impairs his ability to get that much utility, but still, overall, you do want Simple with the opportunity to get early picks here.
This time, the smoke is going to stop Heroic from pushing any further. More respect to Na'Vi's prowess. They know, as a result of coming up against Deagles in the last round, it is going to be a full buy. Full round loss bonus, of course.
One of the really positive things for Heroic right now is that yesterday when they were playing Na'Vi, they only got 3 rounds on the CT side, so they're only already doing quite a bit better for themselves. This boost not going to work out. We did see them have a couple of cheeky boosts over on the B-bomb side, attempting it multiple times in the same round and actually finding frags with it.
It was Modi that was typically doing that. He's getting boosted up by S-Tag on B.
Yep.
They use different angles each time as well. Once on the site, once on the both wooden panels as well. There's been a lot of flirtation in this round, but not too much substance. All 10 players remain. Only minimal health has been taken off Simple and Electronic.
Yeah.
Plenty of nades have been used.
Yeah, that's the thing. 1 smoke left on the B-bomb side really to fend anything off, and that's just been expended. And here comes Na'Vi.
Here comes S-Tag. He's already able to put that 1 kill, but that's all. But they're going to double stack them barrels, and that's going to destroy Zeus. He didn't expect that. Edward had a hell of a last map, but it's asking too much for him to pick off a 1v4. And Heroic, they're 6-0 up. This is one hell of a good start.
They're getting off to a great start here. Navi's force buying just really putting them in a bit of a bin right now. Long ways to fight back. We saw Heroic, they definitely knew what they were doing on the T side. Their issue really were over on the CT side yesterday. So already redeeming themselves in a big way. And I think what you mentioned earlier on with the aggression they showed in the starting rounds, that's really a difference that we didn't really get to see last time around. Well, Na'Vi immediately venturing towards B, not interested in gaining any sort of map control. And in they go.
He's going to see action once more. This time he doesn't have Modi just behind him. So when he falls, Modi's going to have to be a bit more passive, and he's not going to be allowed to. Zeus gives him a free haircut. Bullet between the eyes. Now Nico through connector. Well, just gets destroyed in midair. Finally, Na'Vi looking like they are going to be welcome to the scoreboard. Barring a miracle clutch or a huge throw, depending which way you look at it. Simple's actually going to look to pursue some aggression, and he'll get just that. Snappy loses his head.
Without even reloading. There's utter confidence that he's going to sink his bullets, and it does so as well. So you're just going to have to run off, hold on to that op. So economy on the Heroic side is obviously in a pretty decent spot. You're going to have the opportunity to buy fully up, get all the utility they need, and also have a chance at resetting Na'Vi. As you can see, there's not much left in their bank.
Also yesterday, Na'Vi actually had a pretty rough start there as well. I think at one point Simple was 4-7, but he ended up finishing the map on 29 frags.
Yeah.
So it was really on the CT side where we saw Simple just take over this map and impose his will. So he's actually started a lot better this time around. So even though Heroic obviously have had a great start, I mean, then there's a long way to go on this map.
Definitely is. Well, Na'Vi definitely going to need this one to avoid the reset and potentially giving away a lot of easy rounds to Heroic. Again, aggressive setup here towards underpass, the boost spot towards short barrels. Short tunnels, I should say. Gonna vacate the premises though. Nico in a similar position as to what we saw Big use. No, sorry, North Academy use versus Big. Well, Edward feels like he spotted out something, and he did, but doesn't react quickly enough, and Nico's gonna punish that. Finds his second one as well. Did a really good job, and Na'Vi not able to respond immediately, and that gives him all the time in the world to find a third frag as well. Simple finally ends his menacing ways, but Snappy still lurking around the corner. Announces his presence, doesn't get a kill for it, but it's obviously in the back of the head of Electronic, but Simple has made his way towards the A-bomb site. He's going to find Yugi close up as well. The A-bomb site is open for now, but Madi lurking in from long.
NiKo in this round did 384 damage just by himself. And now he's given his team a real chance at breaking back Na'Vi, and they've done just that. Unreal play by NiKo, and supreme confidence as well. He just stayed in the exact same position to neutralize all 3 players and take 84 health off Simple.
Yeah, excellent job by NiKo. Just really seemingly having the pinpoint aim for that round. Didn't have the greatest of first games, obviously. Not really anyone on Heroic outside of Yugi did too much to write home about. But if NiKo can get going, he's really a big impact player for the Danish side. It's good to see him getting started early. Oh, Na'Vi do get the bomb plant, so there is an opportunity here to buy up for them. Electronic and Simple are the ones who are going to be lacking in terms of weaponry, unless they do some drops here and there. Wouldn't be too surprised if we saw someone actually drop an AWP for Simple and then bite the bullet themselves. That is going to be the case, actually, as they're talking things over. So the force buy coming in once more. Still get a decent amount of utility on their end as well. But this is dangerous territory for Na'Vi. Again, if they lose this, they don't really have anything to back it up with, especially if they don't get a bomb plant. And at that point, Heroic are looking, or eyeing double figures.
I mean, they know that Heroic are consistently getting a lot of presence around Connector and also towards Fountain time and time again. It's typically Snappy that's playing in that position. I wonder how long before Na'Vi just go for an all-out B rush and try and neutralize B as soon as possible and completely mitigate the aggression on the other side of the map.
And the one thing that's in the back of their heads is the fact that Snappy has been so active with its aggression as well. Not necessarily just holding an aggressive angle towards A or towards the playground area. It's actually been committing in towards underpass and actually trying to have quick rotations. So Na'Vi can't necessarily give up too much map control and feel completely safe about it. And that's to the credit of Heroic, obviously, managing to change up their play styles to keep Na'Vi guessing. But guessing is not something Simple's going to do anymore. Finds Yugi as he jumps into a bit of an awkward angle, and that's going to start off the push towards the A-bomb site.
Modi, can he strike? They line up for him. He's going to get 2, and he could be on for more. He's going to pre-fire around the corner. Bomb's been dropped, and Modi gets the 4th. Individual brilliance is going to get Heroic another round. And it started so poorly with Yugi's peak, but Modi, my God.
Definitely playing the angle to the full advantage right there. Na'Vi not fully committing into the A-bomb side either, and you can see Modi understandably very happy about how things turned out. Fortunate to get the first lineup there, but this is where the Na'Vi players really need to commit. Edward does finally so, but Simple lagging behind there. Modi gets the job done. Not often you see Modi actually over towards that A-bomb side either. But does make good work of it, and again, Snappy playing so aggressively. I mean, if it ain't broke.
Exactly. Don't fix it.
Yep. NiKo, similar position as previously. You got to find the same result as well. 2 early frags. Doesn't find the 3rd one, but still a lot of information gained. Yugi's going to pounce on that as well. That's bomb dropped at the top of the stairs. It's going to be really tough for Simple to get anything done here. Snappy just runs him down. Full on drive-by mode, and Edward with a P250 and 4 players to go through. Well, make that 3 actually. Snappy headshots there. Tag up, Essa tag. Does find an AK as well. Might just want to hold on to it, but still a minute left on the clock here. So that could be really difficult to do, but bomb control obviously fully in the hands of Heroic.
And it's such a horrible place as well.
Oh yeah.
Layered. It's not as if you can come around the corner with your crosshair fixed at head height. There's so many different angles you have to watch out for.
Yeah, different angles, different heights. Just complete nightmare, really. Edward doesn't really seem too interested in actually going about this. He just kind of wants to get to safe space and hold on to that AK going into the next round. You can tell that the economy on Navi's end, this is what we talked about with these force buys, hasn't really had the chance to build up properly. And even though they're getting, you know, the loss bonus for each consecutive round they do lose, give up, it's not really amounting to a whole lot because they're making these small purchases here and there.
And again, you can treat this almost like a mini pause where they just kind of talk over. Edward doesn't really have any hope of clutching this. If you can get this kill into Yugi, it might make it interesting, but he's only got about 5 seconds left anyway, so now he's realizing, hold on, I don't want to die after time. I could completely money screw myself here.
And he's going to bail out. Be able to survive inside. Nope.
Oh, that
Body.
is so rough. And you can see now he's down to $1,900 and the rest of his team around 4K. So if they're going to buy, he's probably got like a CZ, maybe a Deagle, maybe someone drops him like a UMP. I'm not sure, but it really does play hell with their economy. Again, I said this before, Ven, I want to see Na'Vi go for some kind of aggression on B.
Yeah, no, I mean, the one round that they did pick up was towards B, and that was on a fast round as well. But they seem really, really adamant about just sticking to their pre-made plan. This time, more focus over towards underpass. No Nico to be found at the top of the stairs, though. A bit more of a passive setup from Heroic. They're actually going to set up for this double peak that or double setup that we so often see. No ops, though. Normally, this is having an op, taking initial contact to kind of bait out T's to move forward. Instead, it's going to be Madi with that boost that we talked about earlier on, finding the first frag onto Simple.
Well, at least the bomb is in a salvageable position. This time, nowhere near as much aggression from Heroic. They're deciding to stack 2 players on long and have Modi now moving into position from bankside.
Lay out a nade. Does surprisingly little damage to Zeus. Only takes off 18. But presence has been made, so they know that the A's bomb site is not necessarily vacated at this point.
Oh, Modi was caught moving. And it seemed needless as well, Van. I mean, you're in such a good position there.
Yeah, you have your 2 teammates on long as well, so no real reason to move about.
And now this is horrible for the 2 players on long because they know they're about to be wrapped around from the backside. They have to be forced out into the confrontation, hoping they neutralize both players. And then they can try and push around bathrooms. So Modi dying ultimately loses in that round.
Yeah, that's fair. It's pretty much what happens. That's why Madi just needs to stay put. As long as those 2 players on long can be basically uninterrupted with their setup, they can focus on long. Madi can give any sort of information cues as to whether or not the Na'Vi players have the opportunity to push around. They can actually make a committed push either towards out long to clear out that area or just stand there as a bit of a shooting brigade towards the bomb side as Na'Vi wraps around. Doesn't happen though. Yugi will be able to hold on to his off though, and that is a nice get. Na'Vi surviving with 2 players. Flamey actually dying to the bomb, which is a tad bit unnecessary, especially when your economy is not in the greatest place. And now it's all about not getting reset once more. And to be fair though, with the way Na'Vi won that round, it felt like it was more off of the mistakes that Heroic made more so than Na'Vi actually figuring out what was going on.
It doesn't fill you with confidence. It's not like they totally outplayed Heroic there. It was one mistake, one very important mistake at the worst possible moment. So, yeah, I mean, Heroic can just say, okay, fair enough, Modi holds his hands up, my bad, guys. Let's just go back into winning ways.
Yeah. So not the same kind of aggression from Heroic, though. See Yugi in a forward position, but he's always lonesome pretty much in restroom, so he could get closed in on. He does have Nico to kind of watch over his back a little bit, but they decide to fall back into safer position. S-Tag, though, he's been aggressive. So if it's not on the A bomb side, it's over towards B.
The thing that worries me about his aggression is typically when players come up here, you have one around water of short. He has nobody. He's now on an island surrounded by terrorists, and he's going to die. That is the reason why you play someone in short if you're going to push up Monster.
Yeah, definitely true. Or you actually have a bit of a tag team duo that goes aggressive as well. Well, the lineup doesn't really matter. Madi's not able to capitalize on it. Edward takes him out, and that leaves the bomb site open. Simple showcasing his skill as Snappy gets taken out of the air. And now it's down to 2v2 all of a sudden. Quick frags coming in from Nico and Yugi to equalize. Bomb's not down yet either.
No, it's actually dropped in a pretty sketchy position in the water, so that's eating up valuable time, and Edward hasn't retrieved it. He decides to maybe go looking for the kills instead. Something that Simple messed up on yesterday when he actually pushed the bomb in his position, but it looks like they are going to get the round all the same. And to be honest, I'd like to see Heroic maybe call a tactical timeout, because these last 2 rounds are lost due to very suspect, strange decisions.
That is true. I'd say this round is more forgiving than the last one we saw them losing, simply because it's obviously like a planned move for S-Attack to go aggressive. I think he definitely should have been able to get more out of it, especially with the flash popping out. You hear the sound as to where the flash pops from. So instead of assuming someone coming through the smoke, I think you can kind of use that smoke as a bit of a wall and check out short tunnels. Nonetheless, though, it does send Heroic into an eco round, and this is where Na'Vi kind of have the opportunity to get their footing back in the game. Electronic starts them off by finding Snappy. It's been a big nuisance, really, for Na'Vi. Not necessarily because he's gotten a lot of kills with his aggression, but he's always been able to show that he's out and about trying to create chaos.
Start going for the aggression. Yugi also chimes in with a P250 frag, making this round a little bit more interesting. Kind of wrote this off as an easy, clear-cut round on that nade. That is a money nade and a half. That absolutely decimated Estetag, who I don't think he was particularly low. Just got wrecked off it.
I wrote the address on it perfectly. Well, Na'Vi make their way silently onto that A-bomb site. They can actually see that it's clear as well, but they're just really just going safely about it. They're actually going to move all the way over towards the B-bomb site where, well, that's where the two remaining Heroic players are residing. So a bit interesting to see this kind of a decision-making from Na'Vi. Does put them in a little bit more danger, especially with Nico having an AK. Well, I was about to say he has an AK, doesn't have that anymore. Simple ends him. Well, there we go, bomb dropped.
That's the bomb down. The smoke, though, is going to play hell with Yugi. Hasn't got that many frags so far, but he really hasn't been in the action. The rest of his team's been doing so much work for him. This would be one moment for him to step up and shine. He's trying to spray through, but of course the pillar is going to be blocking and absorbing all of his AK rounds that were aimed at Electronic. This is just looking like it's almost impossible for Yugi. No, he has no armor, no nades, no kit. Just save the AK.
Yeah. Still a decent get for Heroic. Was an eco round, so the fact that they're able to remove 3 of the Na'Vi players, again, you can see economy on Na'Vi not stabilized by any means at this point. Heroic even saving some money here if Yugi's able to stay alive, and they're still going to have enough money to actually buy up in the upcoming round. Electronic entered board. Surviving that bomb blast with no problems. Electronic even picking up the AWP that is going to drop off to Simple as we get going again.
You've got to wonder as well, if Na'Vi do come back now and end up winning this map, those 2 rounds in a row, were they the catalyst? Was that the beginning of the end? And this is the nade literally right next to Estetag, who didn't have any Kevlar, so that nade is it's going to sting.
Definitely does.
Glad to see they called a timeout, though.
Yeah.
They've got a good buy coming up, as you said. It's not going to be bad at all, especially with the AK saved. So now's the time to try and wrap their heads around what they want to do next.
And honestly, if I'm Heroic, I'm not changing up too much of what I've done. The aggression has been really nice for them, been paying off, and actually giving a return on investment. So all they have to do is really just make sure that the player decisions that they take mid-round is not too aggressive or you know, too hopeful. And outside of that, I think Heroic has delivered a pretty solid CT half here. Now it all remains to close it out.
They could have gotten AWP. Yugi had enough money with the saved AK that he could have dropped an AWP, but they decided to go for full M4s alongside, of course, the aforementioned AK, so they can get more nades.
Yeah. Heroic doesn't really change up too much here. We're going to see the same tower coming in from Snappy and Nico. Not a whole lot changed. Yugi's still in a pretty forward position over by balloons. No AWP, as you said, though, this time around. Na'Vi haven't really done a whole lot to gain map control as of right now. You can see Simple making his way slowly, and he's going to get caught out by the boost as well. So aggression succeeded. Now Heroic can fall back to the bomb sites, being happy with the fact that they're a man up. And just play it as safely as possible. Zeus, though, making his way forward, actually announces his presence as well. Electronic's going to follow up, and Estetag, who's been playing that barrel position so much, is finally going to get caught out. Monty tagged down low as well.
I've been waiting for this B rush for quite some time. I'm glad that Na'Vi have finally put it into play towards the bitter end, the business end of this half. Snappy's going to come back with a frag, but it may be the last thing he does in this round. That Molotov's not quite going to spread to him. He's only on 1 health. Literally see his demise ahead of him. Just a matter of who puts him there now. Electronic's in almost a perfect position, but actually Modi from above, I thought someone had his back there. They didn't, but in the blink of an eye, Flamey and Edward will lay Heroic to rest. So that is now going to be 4 rounds in a row to the terrorist side of Na'Vi.
Definitely Edward who kind of slipped on his assignment right there. Was supposed to hold Heaven. Still works out for Na'Vi in the end, though. And Heroic, they're going to be able to mount a decent enough buy in terms of getting an AWP in the hands of Yugi. A lot of FAMASs and UMPs otherwise, though, which is not optimal, but they have to do it if they want to have any sort of utility to play with.
Already pretty much going through all their utility, just 2 smokes and the flash, and we have so much time left. So what's going to be the danger of Heroic's position? Nico all by his lonesome in the bathroom.
Bit of a stack towards the B bombs, but Heroic probably recognizing that, well, during these executes, the only place they've been successful is towards B.
I wasn't far off there to landing the headshot on Flamey.
I'm actually surprised they didn't do more damage, just in general.
Maybe just a tad high? I'm not sure, but that looked like it could have been a kill. Yugi boosted up, will take Edward down. So, equalizing the odds.
Man advantage immediately erased. And that's definitely what Heroic need. And when you run low on utility to the point where you don't have anything at all, actually, as Heroic do right now, you have to play aggressively. Snappy's position here is very nice, but it's extremely tough to play locked into the bomb sites like the 3 members on A do right now.
He's just doing the janitor duty here, making sure that no one's hiding around these corners to flank.
Yeah. Snappy, though, in this prime position, should be able to get the kill and does so as well. That swings things around in the favor of Heroic. The very last nades go out for Na'Vi towards this A bomb site.
Some mollies, set play imminent, time scarce. The mission to take the site has not started well, and has slipped and slid away from Na'Vi. It's all an electronic on his 19 health, and to make matters worse, time is also an enemy. It's also an adversary that he cannot beat. 10-5 to Heroic at half-time, and I'm sure if you offered that to them at the start of this match, they would have bit your hand off.
Definitely so. Much more impressive showing on the CT side, and again, we'd see a kind of a new look Heroic in that sense. They actually go through with their aggression for the better part of the start in the CT half, and that puts a bit of a thought in the back of the head of Na'Vi that they can't necessarily play as reckless without getting punished, and that's really what you want. You want to kind of set the pace when you have the opportunity to do so on the CT side, not let the Ts get way too much map control for free. Now it remains to see a bit of a repeat performance of what they did on their T side yesterday. So far, though, I haven't really yet to see the simple show that we were treated to yesterday. He is topping the scoreboard for Na'Vi on 11 frags, followed by Edward on 10. One player that's been surprisingly quiet, though, is Electronic on the end of Na'Vi. I
mean, I'd even say that he's been surprisingly quiet this entire tournament thus far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really seen what this guy has to offer. I mean, obviously a great talent, but I did say this earlier, Simple on CT side yesterday was a monster. He had a very poor T half. On CT side, he went to a different level. So maybe we're going to see it come to fruition once more. They need this pistol, and Flamey started them off with a crisp headshot onto Yugi. Zeus is going to have quite a few opportunities to land frags, and he will get one. Bomb dropped as well. Information gathered. Moddy's not going to be able to get 2. The consecutive frags not on the board for Heroic. And maybe Nico can go to a different level, but he quickly gets extinguished. That's exactly what Na'Vi were looking for.
Great start. Just perfect setup, really, to counter what Heroic was doing, whether that was based off of information they already had or tendencies from Heroic that's yet to be known, but nonetheless works as immaculate as you'd like if you're Na'Vi. So to get off to that strong start, no necessity to really do any of these silly force buys that we saw to begin the first half.
You know, that is a really good point, because would they have gone for that had they have lost this pistol? Because that could have actually just straight up put them out the map altogether.
Definitely could have.
We're not going to find out the answer to that question, though, because as you say, they won the pistol, so now all the pressure is on Heroic's shoulders. Gone for full-on Deagles, and so far they have lost Snappy.
Yeah. We did see North Academy, though, being able to put Danish Deagles to full use versus Big. Now it remains to see if Heroic can do the same, but with Zeus on the backstab, it's not looking very likely. Simple and Edward chimes in as well. And just in a matter of a second, Yugi goes from having 3 other teammates to being all by his lonesome. He's going to join them, though, rather rapidly as Simple pushes aggressively.
Not much in terms of economy for Heroic to play with Eva.
Well, they don't get too much out of the eco round or the Deagles. Then again, they didn't opt into full buy in that sense with the Kevlar on everyone, so Still opportunities to get an AWP in the hands of Yugi for the first spy round. But for now, long blocks, 2 nades. Just not going to do any reasonable damage at all. And Simple is going to be able to clean up with the help of Edward as well. 3 easy frags. Bank already established.
It looks good, but all things considered, there's no armor. It's an MP7. It's a small angle. Of course, there's going to be bloodshed.
It's going to go well for you.
Yeah, pretty much the dream. He's looking at the ace. It was taken away from Edward, but a 4K with an MP7 is definitely a nice amount of money towards his AWP fund.
Yeah, 8,500 is what he's sitting at right now. He's probably going to throw away that MP7. Actually going to give it up to Zeus. And I would imagine an AWP comes out rather rapidly.
I'd be amazed if he didn't pick up an AWP there.
Oh, here we go. AWP in hands of Simple is going to go for the aggressive peeks, as we saw Yugi try to do multiple times as well on their CT side. Standard flashes and smokes go in, and we're actually seeing the similar approach from Na'Vi as we saw from Heroic here.
Yeah, Edward channeling his inner Snappy, who's constantly pushing this angle. To be fair, though, Edward was doing this against Heroic yesterday as well.
Yeah. Could be a tell. And you can tell Nico just kind of ignoring Simple completely because he knows what's going on. And just like that, the entire defense of Na'Vi just erased. Gone from this earth. Zeus with that MP7, not going to do a whole lot of work. Does put a significant amount of damage onto Yugi, but what you want in that situation is the kill. And Yugi's going to be brazen enough to pick up that AWP and bail out. Now Flamey has to push aggressively. They need something to happen for them, but Madi already posted up at B. This is pretty much where he resides on Overpass. And even though Electronic does pick up the 1 frag on Nico, it's just a massive tell that the entire B bomb site is open for business. And Heroic are going to get an easy bomb plant here, most likely.
I mean, that whole setup with the aggression past balloons next to Fountain all hinges off Simple watching Edward's back.
Yeah.
As soon as he misses that AWP shot, it's over.
Yeah. And the presence of mind to Nico to not get distracted and actually try to take the re-peak duel versus Simple and just go for that frag for Edward because he recognizes the setup immediately is just very well done. Electronic's going to find a second frag, but that's pretty much all he can hope for in this kind of a situation. Now it's all about staying alive with this weapon because, as you can see, opportunities galore for Na'Vi to repurchase here and send Heroic back into the trenches from a money point of view.
Electronic will save. No one close to alleviating that M4 from his hands. So Heroic back into winning ways, regain a 3-round lead. This is going to be Na'Vi dipping into their pockets, though, and running them dry. So if Heroic were to be victorious here, Na'Vi are in serious trouble.
All right, up once more out on Simple. Electronic, no bank left. Flamey with a surprising amount of money, actually. Well, I say that, actually. Scoreboard late to update. But yeah, richest players on Na'Vi sitting around 2.5 at this point. And Simple going aggressive, finding Madi immediately.
It seems to be the way that Simple plays. Every time Na'Vi are backs against the wall, he just comes out with some mad aggressive play and makes it work.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be the case. And then you can start asking yourself whether or not opposing teams should be aware of this and kind of set up in a more passive way. But then again, you do want to establish that map control as the T side on Overpass. So you can't play too scared. Unless it's going to play against you. Yugi gets flashed into an angle. Does spot one player. Goes for the shot as well. Not far off.
Not far off at all. I actually thought he landed it. I believe it was Zeus as well, so he can count himself lucky.
Right. Yugi is definitely one of the faster offers we have. And S-Tag is going to find Edward as they move about. He's actually going to find Simple through the smoke as well. Molotov placed right in the corner of Zeus. He's going to go down as well. And just in the span of 5 seconds, everything falls apart for Na'Vi. So that early frag picked up by Simple to no avail. Rick with a solid execution and also a bit of luck to make that happen. And S-Tag's already on the hunt here. They know what this means for the economy of Na'Vi.
They are in danger, though, of giving away superior weaponry already now. Na'Vi have 2 AKs as opposed to 1. And it's very important that Heroic do not give an AWP across to Na'Vi that Simple can use in the next round. As highlighted, Ben, with a couple players around 2.5k after this round, they'll be able to drop. So you could actually see a buy here from Na'Vi.
Yeah.
You can see there that a couple players about 4K, 4 to 5K in terms of investment potential. And with his 2 save weapons, I would expect to see another purchase on the horizon.
Flamey dropping 1 weapon off, and they should be able to get fully equipped in that sense. Definitely not unreasonable for Na'Vi to go with, but obviously now they're playing with fire. If they were to lose the following round here, it's gonna mean pretty much full-on disaster for the Ukrainian squad. Ukrainian-Russian, I should say. Heroic, though, they're the ones to take the time out here. They want to talk things over. I think they know how much this round means to Na'Vi, and obviously it means a lot to Heroic as well. They don't want to get on a back foot and allow Na'Vi back into the game. But just kind of figuring out what kind of approach they need to have. If they, assume that Na'Vi are going to go aggressive with this because they're going to be lacking in utility, or if they're going to play basically crossfires on the site. This is one of those tough situations to be an in-game leader here. Snappy has to make the right call. Obviously, if he doesn't, you can kind of feel that if things doesn't go your way, then you're to blame pretty much.
Just letting Na'Vi stew in it a little bit, so they can get in their own minds. And now Heroic instantly out to playground with Nico. He's going to make sure that they don't have that similar setup before with both Simple and Edward. And now he's found out, okay, looks pretty clear across here. Probably playing against a more standard setup from the CTs.
Yeah, a bit of a blast from the past with this boost out of Na'Vi. Not something you see too much anymore.
That flashbang is still very important, even if they didn't expect it. It allows them to cross the connector because either Simple is caught in 2 minds whether he wants to focus on bathrooms, which had smoke in it, which is now cleared, or the player that could dart into connector. Even if he can't get the kill, it is information that goes across to the rest of his team. But because of the flashes and utility that's been expended, they can't afford to stick around.
Yeah. Actually, Edward being the one boosted up here, which is kind of surprising. You would expect Simple to be the one to take point for Na'Vi. But this is the way they're going about it. Obviously, a very powerful situation, though. 2 angles to keep eyes on. So if you're unfortunate with your timing, you might just get caught out and give away an easy opening. Na'Vi have stacked 3 players onto this A-bomb site, though. Have Zeus there to back them up.
I guess it could be to do with the fact that if Edward does die on this approach, it allows Simple to be in reserve, to just go ham like he is now through on the long side. He's already got 1. There's going to be multiple angles for him to watch out for, and it's the flower bed that takes him out, but now Edward's going to line them up. He can't get 2. Is that the moment where Heroic take this map? Because Na'Vi are going to be screwed for economy in the next one. This is really going to bolster Heroic's lead. Flamey's burning to a crisp in amongst the smoke. Just confusing within itself, and Yuki will put him out of his misery. Heroic are in such good shape now, 5 rounds in the lead.
I mean, they are, and Heroic seemingly having full confidence in what they're supposed to do once they get close up to these A-bomb site. And very well done. I'm actually a bit curious as to how Zeus gets picked off in the back there before any sort of contact is made with the two more forward players. Obviously, Simple straying out to find the first frag onto S-Attack. Would have expected them to take the brunt of the challenges from the rest of the Heroic squad. But everything just kind of falls apart. Now Na'Vi are the ones to have to talk things over. Their economy, as we mentioned, not in the greatest of space. Simple sitting at 2.7. He's the highest earner really on their side as well. Not too far from each other. Obviously, 2 players in Electronic and Zeus sitting at 2.5 and Flamey at 1.7, but definitely means eco and very likely a 14th round for Heroic.
Does at least give them a chance to get a decent buy into the 23rd round when you'd assume it would be 14-8.
Yeah. So
they could still technically outright win this, albeit it'll be very difficult to pull off.
I'm actually surprised to see Zeus invest into this round. Puts him down to 1,400 with the purchase of that light Kev as well. I think you're perfectly fine just running around with the ZZ and no Kevlar. The aim punch changes. It's not necessarily that detrimental to get tagged up a little bit, and also a bit of a kamikaze weapon. Nonetheless, Heroic aware of the situation at hand, so they have a more slow-paced approach. S-Tag not going to push forward probably until he gets some help from above here. The rest of the Heroic members are moving forward to kind of pinch in on whatever might be an underpass.
Molly landed in connector, but actually went between the 2 players, and that could have baited S-Attack out into assuming it was clear. So Zeus and Flamey, 2 kills in hand to RV, 2 AK-47s trade hands. And with the aforementioned Kevlar you mentioned now, Zeus is going to be very powerful. That being said, though, Modi puts that MAC-10 to use. Spraying down And Zeus has gone as well, and it's going to be the dual Berettas.
It's the first time in a long time we've seen those actually do anything at all of use. Well, gets the job done, nonetheless. So man advantage. Still though, full health pretty much on the side of Na'Vi, so still room to make some do some damage here. They're posted up on the wrong bomb site though, and that's obviously a bit of an issue for them, as a retake situation is going to be nearly impossible. No Kevlar, no kit, no utility.
Edward is moving though, Van, towards the A side. It's just a case of, can he get in position before Heroic get control of the bomb? And Heroic have got to make a move here. There's only 6 seconds left. So they're going to molly into the likes of Bank just to make sure that they're not going to get a cheeky drive-by that just times them out the round here in 22.
Oh, Edward takes the last tick of damage from the molly. Nobody's close enough to actually hear this though. And in the grand scope of things, it doesn't really matter all that much because Heroic have decided to vacate the entire bomb site as is usual with this kind of a plant. Just play it from restrooms.
Oh, simple. Surely not. Surely he can't pull off this clutch. He's got one already. The time is very low on that bomb. It's close to detonating. He just saw the barrel of the gun stick around the side. It's all well and good, but he's got to stick onto the bomb, and they know they can't do it. There's no kit. Heroic have got this round, and they will have a 6-round lead now. And nobody from Na'Vi survives.
It's a rough situation to be in, but obviously with no kit, a retake is going to be extremely difficult with so many angles to clear out, so much space to really make sure it's safe before you actually go for a defuse. Still, they'll do manage to do some, or put a bit of a scare into Heroic. But at this point, their economy is looking all right enough, even after buying Snappy and Yugi sitting at 5.6 and 6.6k.
This is the last roll of the dice, really, for Na'Vi. They won't get a better buy than this if they were to lose it.
Look at this massive stack towards A, though. 2 players up close towards long, which is an area that Heroic necessarily hasn't used all that much. At least not through that passage. If anything, they've gone through restrooms. One posted up at Balloons, that's Edward. And you have Simple with the op and underpass.
Simple is going to claim the first kill of the round, but Yugi answers back. It is a 2-for-1. Edward in amongst the chaos got one, but now he's fallen. And so the aggressive A-long stack only sees Flamey, and they were not expecting a third. They'd already dusted off 2. And in the meanwhile, Heroic are just making a beeline for the site, and Moddy's going to take down Electronic. That was such an important trade that will go in the way of the Danes. And the Swede, of course. And now Flamey and Simple. A huge task ahead of them, and Flamey not expecting the push from short. Again, it's Simple. Again, he doesn't have a kit. He's going to trade to the M4 and just run straight in. He knows he has no time to mess around with. A flash over. It's going to be Snappy taking him out of the equation. 7 map points to Heroic on a map that I never expected them to get close on.
I definitely didn't expect this kind of a performance out of them. Just very well, just completely reinvented or reinvigorated CT side on their end, putting them in a pretty much perfect situation to be in. Even though they end up losing pistol in the second half, just bounced right back in the first buy round. Well, it's all Heroics to lose here. Could very easily bring it on to a third map. The buy on the side of Na'Vi, not that great. Already low on utility. Just a Deagle in hand on Simple. 2 FAMASas and an MP7. And we're with that 1 rifle.
He did just see 3 or 4 players on long, though. That's pretty vital information at this point. And considering that they do have a player close to connector, not going to get any sound cues that they're charging down connector for the time being. Of course, the downside, though, is that early information doesn't really mean anything unless it's a rush.
Exactly. So it might just be an instance of Na'Vi just expending all of their utility early on and allowing for Heroic to have that much more of a powerful final execute, and that's seemingly what's about to happen as well. Na'Vi have moved a bit aggressively through restrooms here with quite a few players, but they've also left the B bomb site very, very fragile. It's pretty much no defense there on the side of Na'Vi.
He's just by himself as well on B. It's going to be quite some time before anyone gets close to him. He's going to hear so many footsteps pushing past him on Monster, but now Electronic has shown up in the nick of time with his FAMAS, and he's going to play this aggressively. He wants to get up in the face of Heroic, use these smokes to his advantage. His teammate's gone down, but now Edward is going to pluck out Snappy. The bomb has been dropped, and Electronic's going to go in for another one. It's asking so much now of Nico, who's hiding in the smoke. He's seen Electronic, but Electronic doing an incredible job on the site with this FAMAS, a 3K, keeping the dream alive.
Yeah. Sue's putting down that smoke on short, just gets so much attention from the Heroic players that it pretty much stops their entire push. You can see, I think it was Snappy who just brings up a smoke, stands in the middle of nowhere, and gets taken up by Electronic to start things off. And that's Heroic just kind of losing track of what they're supposed to do and how they're meant to execute. They had the right idea though. Na'Vi escaped with one there. Now back to a much better buy on their end. Op in hands of Simple as well.
The last map, if we need it, will be Train. It should be an interesting playground between these two teams. But, of course, Na'Vi focusing on the task at hand. Overtime is what they hope is on the horizon. Trading off shots through the wooden panels. Negligible damage. That's tagged down to 76.
He's jumping for info, not going to see anything. Meanwhile, though, same kind of map control coming out from Heroic here, taking control over balloons and moving slowly towards that restroom area. Bit of a different setup from the side of Na'Vi as well, though. Simple playing inside restrooms with the help of Edward around at long. There we go. The bait peek initially. Oof, quick shot from Nico there to take out Simple. That's a big get for them. Edward's already been tagged up a little bit.
Oh no.
He's got to go down as well. Snappy has already found Zeus, and you have Maudie lurking about, but Electronic seems to be aware of this. Still leaves him with the chance. 19 HP, though. Only one diffuse kit on Flamey. No real utility to work their way forward, and smokes are going to go down. Poorly placed smoke, though.
That's a very poor smoke. It could have cost them if they stuck around on the box and assumed that it landed. Because now Flamey Electronic can push through the dumpster, relatively undeterred.
Problem is, with the superior after-plant positions, as you can see Snappy posted up. As soon as somebody taps that bomb, they're going to die.
There we go. Flamey didn't even have a chance to tap it. And now Electronic, with his 19 health, is able to get one, but that's going to be all she wrote for this map. Heroic are going to clutch it. There's not enough time. Electronic knows it. 16-9. And we will move across to Train for the all-important